Hey yo, welcome back to the Dugout and Beyond. So back with some more baseball off-season spending talk. Last video I did the Yankees. Of course I did them first basically because of the huge players that they got. Actually, and it also turned out that it seemed like the Mets also spent more money than the Yankees this off-season, which they still can do, because yes, we also had Nelson Cruz just sign a one-year deal for in the Padres, so things are still happening. But for the most part, the big deals have been done, and usually most of them have been actually some are on other teams, some are on the same team, and we'll get right into it. So first we have here is I actually like this deal, Brandon Nimmo, 8 years, 162. To put that in perspective, Aaron Judge just across the city, we have him at 9 years, $360 million. So yeah, so we have him making almost a whole 200 million less. But hey, that's still, I like that a lot. Maybe a year or two less would have been great, like maybe 7 years, but hey, I'll take it. I love Brandon Nimmo, always great. Always just gets the job done. He just finished with the highest batting average in the league, in the whole league. So yeah, he's always the one. If you, it seems like he's like the only ones that will actually sprint after getting a walk. So I like that, and this definitely describes it. A fan favorite in Flushing. He was, because he absolutely is, definitely a favorite of a lot of people. And of course, he was also looked at by other teams, including the Giants and Yankees, which both have made big news in the last in the offseason. So yeah, that was a big deal. It doesn't have here what is guaranteed. I think most of it's guaranteed, at least I think. So yeah, a great deal with that, and I'm happy that he's back. Next one we have Edwin Diaz, the man who made that the trumpet man, Timmy Trumpet song famous, when he would come in as a closer for the Mets last season. He's back on a 5-year, $102 million deal. This is absolutely deserved for what he did. He basically just became the electric part of the city when things were just not going great for really either team. He was the one who made it more fun, and obviously gave the New Yorkers here some something to root for a while, and for the most part of the end of the season. So his contract also includes a $20 million option now for 2028 season. So it gives us some time to see what he can do, and hopefully he can continue his awesome pitching here. Speaking of pitching, we have now a 2-year deal, $86.6 million deal with right-hand pitcher Justin Verlander, the man who started his career out as a Tiger, went to the Astros, pitched on the fraud trash can World Series, which they cheated on, and so he then went out for Tommy John for basically a year, and then he came back, and he's I think like almost 40 years old. So it was kind of like the kind of deal like, hey, like, would this be a good idea? And he signed a 1-year deal with the Astros just to basically come back into the league and show that he can do it again. This is a perfectly fine deal. I'm pretty sure that he wants to retire here in New York. Yeah, so he so let's see, the 3-time Cy Young Award winner and former MVP signed to replace. He signed to replace Jacob deGrom, who went to the Rangers, who I will be doing in obviously the Rangers video. And his contract includes a $35 million vesting option for 2025. So if he wants, he can stay for another year for $35 million. But yeah, I like this deal. It just like it's kind of like bringing back since they kind of lost a veteran in DeGrom, who he was replacing. They also had lost Syndergaard years ago, so they haven't really had that. They've had the power, but they just haven't had the probably like veteran mindset in a head pitcher really there. So definitely like that, and I think he's retiring here somewhere around here. And hey, 2-year deal, like it. So now we have a new man coming over from overseas from actually the same team that Shohei Ohtani came over from. We have Kodai Senga, 5 years, $75 million, which this makes sense because it's kind of like Europeans, like say like Luka Doncic, who basically been in the professional league for 10 years of his life already. You have an idea of what he can do in the big boy level here. So this is, and they also I was made aware that they have to basically have like a 7-year commitment to that league out there. So you're already basically 7 years into your career, and so he's, as a veteran over there, he's coming over here as a rookie and signing basically a massive deal, which obviously that's what helps with being a new signee from a new country. They usually have years under their belt and definitely stats to back up their history. So 6-time Japanese Series champion. He became an unrestricted agent in November, and that's when the Mets went over and got them. He has a we need the signature. His signature ghost forkball, and it can. Usually a forkball is kind of like a screwball or a knuckleball where it just moves weirdly, and it just messes with your eyes. And obviously, ghost means it probably just disappears out of nowhere. It probably sit up in your eyes and then drop. Yeah, definitely most likely will be very fun to watch him pitch this year. Next, we have Jose Quintana, 2 years, $26 million. He was looked over by the Mets, and they finally signed him for a 2-year deal, and he had a 2.93 ERA over 32 starts for the Pirates and Cardinals last year. So that's a very good ERA to have, especially for that little that many starts. Definitely good pick here. And yeah, now we're just getting into the little deals here. Oh, not exactly little deals. They're still getting millions of dollars here, but 2 years for Omar Narvaez at $15 million. It sounds kind of like like a cartel name, but he's not. At least I don't think he is. But yeah, so this is he was traded from the O's, and he's basically a replacement for the James McCann, who I think is not there anymore. And they have now the former Yankee, former Red Sox. I think he was on the. I'm not exactly. I think he was on other teams, but Adam Ottavino is coming back to the Big Apple, but of course to the other side. And 2 year, $14.5 million. This is kind of weird too. He was really good on the Yankees, then had a weird bad year in, I think it was 2020, which is, he just wasn't himself anymore. And I didn't think he would. I think the Yankees traded him to the Red Sox for some stuff. But yeah, this is, I thought he was going to be a Yankee for a long time, and then he just couldn't keep up with his what he was doing, and his stuff just wasn't there. So yeah, he's now over in in Flushing, Queens, and will hopefully maybe revive himself a little bit. And we have here again David Robertson, another former Yankee relief closer pitcher, who also kind of retired. He went to like 4 other teams. He was on the Phillies. Then he was waived, I think, a couple times, and then he actually randomly, just not really randomly, but he was picked to be on the on the Olympic team that was taking place over in Japan. I'm sure it was. I think it was, and he was on that team, and then he came back and signed with the Rays. So yeah, he was great. I loved him on the Yankees. He was so solid. He was he just has like the age on him now. So he signed a 1-year, $10 million deal, and so yeah, 14 years. So let me read this whole thing. The Mets didn't acquire Robertson at the 2020 deadline, despite harboring interest in him. 5 months later, they made sure the 14-year-old veteran wouldn't slip through their fingers again. And then they would sign, and then they said he would obviously sign, join Ottavino as a right-hand option to set up Diaz. And that's what Ottavino and Robertson had done their entire career, especially the Yankees. They were middle relief pitchers setting up, hey, I'll go out, do an inning or two, I'll blow them away, and you come in and finish it off. So, yeah, this is right now the biggest names we have for the Mets that have signed. There might be some more random ones coming around, but for the most part, most of the big names are off the board. Yeah, so I will be coming out with, of course, more, especially with the Giants having their whole offseason go crazy and their fans going through all the emotions. But yeah, if you like the video, like, subscribe, and comment, and share with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!